All right. And again, welcome on behalf of DIIT. My name is Laura Ogando. I think we told folks, but again, I'm just having to say it repeatedly because I don't know who we've told and who knows, but we've gone under a little bit of a reorg. So I am now the Deputy Technology Director for Manhattan, but I support all the boroughs. So if you're out in Queens and you got a question about digital literacy and DigCit, like, don't worry about it. I'm helping all of my boroughs out. So again, it's this little internal switch. I still do a lot of the same things and I'm supporting a lot of the same work. Now, Lisa is not here today. She's actually doing a really cool presentation over to the folks at Tweed. They, I think, have some folks from Kyrgyzstan and they're here to learn about our education system. So she's going to represent at Tweed on behalf of us. So I'm super excited for that. And you know, we already have Latifah here. She is on the back end posting all the important links that you need. So if you aren't part of those teams that she just posted in the chat, you're gonna want to be part of them. Again, that's a great place to keep the learning going, ask questions, and get information that's really helpful. All right, and Derry, I'm gonna pass it to you to tell folks about this really exciting opportunity.
Thank you so much, Laura. The happy Friday, everyone. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here to share this amazing opportunity. So if you haven't heard, my change has also changed. And with our new restructure at FACE, I am now part of the community partnership team. So I lead all things partnerships with the scope of bringing in private sectors into this space. So I get to kind of do the vetting. I get to bring more partners like WNET to DOE and also many organizations. And we also have our other colleagues on my team who's working with culture institutions, advocates to really make sure that you guys are connected to these resources. With that said, I'm just gonna jump right in here. Guys, it is St. Patrick's Day. So any of you, let's see, we have 80 participants. One of you guys, or maybe all, could get lucky today to get a free VIP private screening with lunch. All you have to do is there's a link. So Laura's going to drop the link in the chat and it's limited tickets. So we do apologize because it's not it's sponsored and it's a private screening. So today you could be lucky. And come on, you made it because it hasn't been shared to everyone here. So I believe if you all sign up for this ticket today, you can have a ticket to see the crazy adventures of Don Cojito. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so much fun. So sign up today, get lucky because today is your lucky day. Turning it back over to you, Laura.
I love how you worked in St. Patty's Day with Don Quixote. Can we just like that's great. So with that, I believe I saw our colleague Anthony Casasnovas here, and I believe he has a very special announcement about some Battle of the Boroughs information. So totally putting you on the spot, my friend. But where are you, and what are you telling us?
I am here, but I'm actually in the middle of a commute, so I cannot share a screen.
No worries, no worries. I think I have the link. Do you want me to drop a link to that set of slides? Would that be helpful for folks while you
can drop
the
slides, you could drop the website, but the big announcement is we have scheduled, with the help of Terry, a office hours for the Minecraft Battle of Boroughs. And I just want to make it clear to everybody that anyone at the school can assist students in submitting their projects for the Battle of Boroughs. And we will go through that process Tuesday morning. And we're adding a couple of more office hour dates today. That'll be on the website. And there you go. There's our slide deck. And there's the video. So you don't have to play the video, but it's a video at the mayor. This is a citywide competition. There's the website. And it is open to K through 12 students, so everyone is included here. and it's really simple. All right, so I just want to make it clear to folks that this is not a class, this is not a program, this is something that students can just do on their own. They can form a team, they can play in Minecraft, create a build based on our prompt, which is on the website. It's completely free. I see that Zach Dane's putting that out there in the chat. Yeah, I'd say just if you're an adult at the school, just help the students submit their programs. Let them know that this is happening. This deadline is April 5th. All right, so we got a couple of weeks left. April 5th is the big deadline. Make sure that they have their builds ready and you can help them submit. And there's the application right there.
This is super exciting, Anthony. I'm just going to jump in really quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
And so Anthony's here because I mentioned how amazing the parent coordinator community is. I mean, Laura, all of us, we all know, especially with this community, our Digital Fri-yay community, that when we show up to this space, we're ready to bring it back to our community. So one of the call of action we're hoping is that every parent coordinator, I should say family facing staff. If you work with families and you work in a school community or a district or an educator, we're hoping that you can help our students sign up. There is steps to sign up. And if you go on the website, thank you so much, Michael. He added the website to the chat. Go in there really quickly. There is also a one pager. It tells you exactly all the dates, these important dates, so that every student in our public school systems can get an opportunity to be a part of the Minecraft battle. And Anthony, I think we heard Burrow battle. I think we have some really like PCs who are
Oh, yeah.
diehard Brooklyn fans. So Brooklyn, let me see you in the chat. Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island, represent your borough. Make sure that your students and your families are a part of this.
Yeah, I'm a Bronx and Uptown kid, so that's what I want to see. I want to see Manhattan. I want to see the Bronx represented.
Yeah, let's do this, Anthony. And I believe for the borough with the highest, or the school with the highest attendance are receiving some special certificates, correct?
That's what we want to do. We just
All
need to see all
right.
those. We need to see all those submissions.
There we go. I see some Brooklyn fans, Queens, District 20s here, man. All right, family facing staff, FLCs,
Also,
FSCs, PCs. Let's do this.
yeah. Also, there's no limit to how many teams can submit at your school. So I want to make that clear as well. So like there can be 10 teams submitting projects from your school. That's all good.
All right. So thank you so much, Anthony, for sharing that with us. There is an information sessioning happening next Tuesday. So if you want to hear more, because this was just, I know this was a lot of information kind of all at once in a very brief amount of time. But if you need a little bit more, you want to understand kind of what the process entails and, kind of see all those nitpicks. There is a meeting that's happening. I'm going to ask folks, just double check your mics, make sure you're muted. I'm getting some feedback here. But yeah, that's happening at Tuesday. There, is it 10 a.m. or 11? Now I'm blanking on the time. I think, let's see. It's at 10 a.m. I just double checked. So there is a Minecraft Battle of the Boroughs PC office hour. So if you just want to hear more, if you're like, wait, I don't know what you guys are really doing, but I'm intrigued and I want to learn more, that is happening next Tuesday. Get access to the information by joining our parent coordinator team. That is the way to get access to basically any of the resources that we've shared. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. And I want to plug our office hours as well. They happen every single week. So these are DIIT wide office hours. In fact, we have a lot of our DIIT staff here today. I saw Sandy, our BPD from Manhattan here. We have Zach, we got Michael. I think I saw Laura Ben. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. It's like, we've had lots of folks entering the room, but we've got a lot of folks here from office hours. I believe we have Hector as well, who kind of helps run that show. But remember, it's a place to get support. So if you're having tech troubles, if you've got a pesky issue that just keeps popping up and you want your voice heard, office hours is a great place to go. You can also just meet the folks behind the email, right? Maybe you've been corresponding with these folks, trading emails back and forth, but guess what? You actually get to see them on the call. So it's a nice place to just build community and see the folks that are helping you out. If you're interested, register on the EdTech portal. All right, so with that, let's just do a couple of our polls. You know how we do. We want to know who's in our room. So you should see that poll on your screen. Welcome to all of our parent coordinators, our family support coordinators, our family leadership coordinators, any school secretaries, teachers, principals, and assistant principals. And if you're another, you already know, put it in the chat, what you doing. And I'm also gonna ask, if this is your first time at Face Fri-yay, I'm gonna ask you to put that in the chat as well. We always like to shout out our newbies who are here. Thanks for being here. I hope we haven't scared you away. Oh, and I see someone in the chat wrote they got their tickets. We already have the luck of the Irish working out.
Congratulations. Awesome. Keep them coming. Make sure you get approval from your principal. Laura, do we have any new timers here?
I'm not seeing anybody say it in the chat just yet.
If you're new to Fri-yay, a
welcome
newbie.
to Sylvia.
Sylvia
Sylvia is a newbie. Welcome.
Welcome, Sylvia.
And congrats to Yusuf, who just got his tickets.
All right. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing folks getting their tickets. Come on, today is your luck. It's Friday, luck of the Irish. If this is your first time, please share. If you're a PC, where you coming from? We just want to shout you out and just say welcome to Fri-yay. You picked the right day to join because we got WNET here.
Oh wait, Hector, you have your hand up. Did you wanna say something to our Fri-yay community?
Hey.
Hi.
Okay, is my face showing? No? Okay.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using the Mac. I'm so new to me on the Mac. I haven't used it in a while. Usually in the office when I do this. Anyway, I just wanted to because I noticed you said something about registering on the EdTech portal for the office hours. That's no longer the case. I just wanted to update everybody. Would you just if you are part of the Spock team, most of the time it'll be already on the calendar and you'll see it there. And then every time about an hour or 2 hours before, I always make an announcement on the news channel of the Spock where we make announcements there. And that's where you'll see it. I always post the link that will send you directly to the meeting.
That is true. I will say I always get the updates like an hour before, like, hey, it's happening. So folks,
I always make a banner and it'll always be a different color. So happy St. Patty's Day for everybody, whoever's celebrating.
Absolutely. So we will drop that link to the Spock team. That's another great team. If you haven't noticed, we like our teams. And I know some folks are maybe not the best at teams, I understand, but it really is a great place to get quick information. All right. For folks that like a newsletter, I'm telling you that thing, once you make it, it's already out of date. So embrace teams. It's really where you're going to get quick information. All right. I'm going to end our poll. We've had 84% participation, which is pretty good. And I just want to welcome everyone here, whether it's your first time, whether you're an oldie or somewhere in between, and to all of the folks here, parent coordinators, teachers, FLCs, FSCs, and everyone in between. Thank you so much for showing up today, for taking time out of your schedule to learn and grow. That's really, really important. We have one more poll. Give me 1 second. You already know we have to ask you, how are you feeling today? I'm feeling super excited now that I'm here. It's been a tough week. Just lots going on our end. But I always get really excited for Friday. Not just because it's like right before the weekend, but particularly on a Face Fri-yay, it's like, yes, it's these folks, right? Like,
and Laura, you are glowing too.
Well, I threw on my green sweater. I have a shirt that actually has like the shamrock. It's the Yankee shirt. Go figure. But we couldn't find it, But when you're in the classroom, I will tell you, you have to wear green because my teachers know it's like the one time a year that a kid has every excuse to pinch you, and they will pinch you. Like it doesn't even matter. Like, because I asked my high school friends too. I was like, do they do this in high school? And my high school teachers were like, I see Zach like nodding. He knows he's gotten high school pinch.
I have not been pinched because I am wise. Always gonna have some green.
I see you, Zach.
It's subtle.
No,
I
mine
don't know
is
if
a
you guys
mint
can see
green.
my green.
You
It's
can't
an
pinch
emerald
back.
green.
That's the tough part.
Mine's is an emerald green. But I just want to just add one more thing. Congratulations for those. I see you guys are getting your ticket. It will be considered a PD day. So if you got your ticket, FACE will give you a confirmation letter that you attended the PD, and then after it ends at 12. So if you don't end your day at 12, I am recommending for you to go back to the school, but it's definitely considered a PD day. Just wanted to add that, but congratulations, keep registering and make sure you get your principal's approval. And for those who got your tickets, I'll see you then with the lunchbox.
Woo. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. Looks like most of us are happy and tired. I get it. I'm a little mix of both too. Let me share the results so you can see. But with that, just want to let you know what's on deck. So I know, huge bummer, but April's a very weird month here at the DOE. I don't know if you've peeped the calendar, but between spring break and several of our cultural holidays, we're like missing all sorts of Fridays in April. So it was just a little tough to coordinate. So we are going to forego April. I know, tears, but we are rearing back in May with the Office of Library Services. They are going to share some really wonderful resources that I think are particularly helpful as we head into summer. So we wanted to share that in May so that you could then turnkey that information to the families and students at your school. And then we will absolutely celebrate another year of learning on June 16th. All right, folks. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to our fabulous presenters over at WNET. Jennifer is here, Janice is here, and several other folks from her team. And I'm telling you, it's really, really great stuff. So I'm going to stop talking and stop sharing, and I'm going to let you see all the awesomeness.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to start. It's great to see all of you today. My name is Janice Fold, and I work at the WNET Group, and we're the organization that has the umbrella organization. Can you guys hear me?
She has ear problems.
Oh, if you're not talking, maybe you could mute. I'm hearing some background noise. But we're the umbrella organization for Channel 13, WLIW, NJPBS. And I just had a question for all of you. When you hear PBS or Channel 13, what do you think about? What programs, what comes to mind? And just share it in the chat, or you can shout it out. I'm just curious, what are some first? Mr. Rogers, I see. Educational shows, Sesame Street, Super Y, Kids, Mr. Rogers, Poldark, Feeling Fabulous, This Old House, Reading Rainbow, PBS Masterpiece, Reading Rainbow, Sesame Street, News, Children's Programs. Okay, there's a lot that comes to mind there. PBS Masterpiece. All right. So obviously Lamb Chop. Oh, yes. Remember Lamb Chop. Nova, History. So it's not hard to come up with associations for PBS. Like we're all familiar with it. Some of us were raised on PBS, have kids who were raised on PBS. And today our team is here to talk about the different programs that we have, and here are some on the screen. Our station produces a variety of different shows, including Let's Learn, Camp TV, Parenting Minutes, Nature, Cyber Chase, and different games like Mission US and others. And I have a great team here, my colleagues who are here to talk about some of our programs. And I'm just going to stop sharing for a second so they can wave. I have with me Jennifer Abramowski, who works on our PBS learning media collections and is in the process of creating a great history collection for educators. And she works a lot on our middle school and high school properties. We have Ellie Yansky, who's here, who works on our early learning programs. And then we have Michelle Chen, who is a producer who works on a variety of programs, including Cyber Chase and a variety of our games. And so they're all going to talk today. We're all going to share and present a little bit about what we do. And I have to say, every time we talk about like sharing our resources and getting our word out to parents and educators throughout New York City, the first place we like to come is to parent coordinators, because we find that you guys have been so helpful in the past of connecting our resources to families throughout the city. And we've had some wonderful conversations and discussions with parent coordinators over the years about our resources. And so we're here today to share some exciting new projects that we have, as well as some of our trusted and true resources that we have for families and kids and educators. And what we wanted to do today, because we know that there are parent coordinators here from all grades, is we're going to focus on some of our elementary resources, as well as what we have for middle and high school, so that everyone will have come away with something that they can share with either with your colleagues or with families that you work with. And so the first show that we wanted to highlight is our show, Let's Learn, which was born during the pandemic. And I want to hand the mic over to my colleague, Ellie, who is going to talk a little bit about Let's Learn.
Hi, everyone. Okay, can you hear me? Can someone give it, Janice, will you give a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, great. So I'm Ellie Yansky. I'm an early learning specialist with Channel 13, and happy Friday, happy St. Patrick's Day. It's really nice to be here. I was texting behind the scenes with Janice that these digital Fri-yays always bring me so much joy, because there's so much good energy just radiating from these computer screens. I know we're all virtual, but it's just really nice to be here and share our resources. Channel 13, specifically Kids Media and Education, are big fans of parent coordinators. So we are just super happy to be here. So I'm like Janice said, I'm just going to share two of our many programs for our youngest learners, Let's Learn, and then I'm going to share about Parenting Minutes. To kick things off with Let's Learn, we have a little promo video that we're going to share, and then I will tell you more about the show. So let's play the video.
Looking to make learning fun?
Drum roll, please.
You found Let's Learn.
Perfect. Hi, friends. Are you ready to hear the story?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this music time.
Time to get creative.
It's rhyme time.
Let's get ready to dance.
Yay. How many all together?
Check out Let's Learn.
Okay, hopefully you could all hear and see that well. I turned my video off just for now so you can hear me clearly. I will come back on after I share about these shows. But so Let's Learn, as Janice mentioned, was really a show that was born in the pandemic. So it's crazy, but about 3 years ago, we're now in our third season. It was actually a partnership with the New York City Department of Education. Some of you may be familiar with it. And while we're no longer in an official partnership with the DOE, we're still producing segments. We're still working with a lot of educators who are part of the DOE. So it's a show that supports children 3 to 8 learning at home. And our audience here really is parents and caregivers as well as educators. And I want to just tell you like a little bit of the backstory. I really like telling the backstory of Let's Learn. It was originally produced to support families who had children at home during the COVID lockdowns in early 2020, as you guys all probably remember. And our goal was to help students, particularly those students who didn't have reliable internet access at home. We wanted them to still be able to access lessons from their teachers in kind of all of these curriculum areas. So what happened was we went into partnership with DOE, and teachers actually filmed themselves from home, like most of the time just with their iPhone, doing math lessons, reading books aloud on screen, doing like all sorts of science experiments, playing math games with kids they may have had at home that they were also teaching at home. So all these sorts of things. And then we put them on the air into these hour-long episodes that kids at home could kind of access while, maybe their parents were working or whatever it was. And the show really was a success. So, but as you guys all know, we all went back into schools. In-person lessons resumed. So then we started to kind of shift the focus of Let's Learn into more of support for, as we know, that very important out of school time. So we are now in our third season. We're still working with formal and informal educators, public media partners such as the Memphis Zoo, Studio in a School, among others. And we're really hoping that this latest season, which is season 3, if you can believe it, it's airing later this spring and it's continuing to run through the summer, will kind of serve as a quote unquote kind of summer maintenance for our little ones. We have 20 new episodes that will be launching in April. And while Let's Learn really does cover all the subject areas, including like social emotional lessons and the arts, the bread and butter of the show really is focused on our literacy segments. So the team, I don't know if you all are familiar, some of you may be, but the team we originally worked with at the NYC DOE was the Universal Literacy team, the literacy coaches that are in schools. So a big part of the show is focused on modeling read alouds, and we feature a lot of different books that have diverse characters and authors and illustrators. And then our foundational reading segments do have a very kind of specific scope and sequence, and they're presented by highly trained literacy specialists who present these phonics segments on screen in a really fun and engaging way. So we're really hoping that if parents and caregivers are inquiring about how to help their children learn to read, that Let's Learn will be kind of top of mind as a fun and helpful resource for them. And I think we have a little clip that we're going to show. This is a literacy specialist, or she used to be a literacy specialist who filmed this one. I think this was during season 1 or 2. Her name is Vita, and this is her son, Tomio. And they are doing a foundational reading skills segment here on compound words. Give us just a moment because we're pulling this up on a different
compound word is? I do.
You hear?
You do? What's a
Can hear,
compound
but
word,
not see.
Tomio? It's a word, but there's another word that joins it, like cake. Okay, so cup, like
Cup.
cup.
Oh, wait, I'm hearing that you can't see the video. Let me stop sharing and let me present again. Sorry, I was seeing the video. So let me, okay, let me see what's going on here. All right, I'm going to share again. Let's see. Now, everyone give me a thumbs up if you can see it when I share it. Here we go. Okay. Can you see the screen now? Can you see the video screen?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to start. Here we go.
And today we are going to work on compound words. Do you know what a compound word is? I do. You do? What's a compound word, Tomio? It's a word, but there's another word that joins it, like cake. Okay, so cup, like cup. Cup. And what's the other word that joins it? Cake. And what's the word they make together? Cupcake.
Very good, Tomio. Let's try another one together. Ready? Pop, corn.
Popcorn.
Very good. That's another compound word. So earlier, Tomio and I were looking around our house and we found so many things in our house that were compound words. What is this?
It's a butterfly. Butterfly.
Very good. What is, let's see. Ooh, what's this?
A rain boot. A rain boot.
Great. Look at all these compound words. They were just these words that are compound words. They were just hanging around in our house. What's this, friends? Can you help us? Let's see if our friends can help us figure this one out. What's this called?
A toothbrush.
Very good. A toothbrush. What is this? Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Should we ask them if they know?
You know?
Do you know what this is? What is it?
It's a fire truck.
Fire truck.
All right. And it goes on from there.
That video brings me so much joy. And we just hope, parents and caregivers will watch that. They're seeing, a real mom showing just a fun, simple, easy game that they're using just things from around their house. But the concept there actually is pretty sophisticated, teaching kind of really getting down to these foundational reading skills that are so important. So
I have to say, I love how she navigates being an educator and a parent at the same moment, and how she's like managing him and teaching at the same time. And I think, brings us back to the beginning of the pandemic when everyone was in lockdown and everything. Yeah.
totally, when he has the boot in his mouth.
Yeah.
So that's just one of the hundreds of segments that we have available to you from Let's Learn. So let's shift now to another one of my favorite shows to share with parents and caregivers, and that is called Parenting Minutes. Janice, will you share the screen? Okay, great.
Let's
Thanks
go.
so much. Oh, wait, really quick. I need to share that we do have a new website launching for Let's Learn. It's going to be, I don't know if any of you have gone on to the current Let's Learn website, but we are launching a new and improved kind of family-focused website for Let's Learn, launching this April. We're excited about that. Okay, so let's move on to Parenting Minutes. If I know Janice and I have definitely been on Digital Fri-yay before and talked about Parenting Minutes, so apologies if this is repetitive to some of you, but it really is kind of one of our favorite shows to share with our parent coordinator friends. So these are short videos. They're available in several different languages: Chinese, Bengali, Spanish, and English. I should say not all of them are available in Bengali and Chinese. All of them are available in English and Spanish, and a lot of them are also available in Bengali and Chinese. And these short videos focus on key topics related to parenting young children today. So things like positive parenting strategies, social emotional skill building, creating routines, developing reading and math skills, autism, and many, many more. You can see just a short little preview here on the screen of all the different topics we have here. When we produce these, and these are locally produced shows, we actually work with real families in the New York City area. So they kind of work in partnership with us about strategies that they're using in their real daily lives with their young children at home. So we work in partnership to kind of talk about what their home life looks like and what things work for them and what challenges they have faced and how they overcome them. And then, we develop these a minute to a minute 30 long shows, and we put additional materials around each of them. And that's kind of what I want to highlight for you today. We really created these support materials with the goal of providing more information to parents and caregivers that go beyond the videos. And we particularly had our parent coordinators in mind when we developed our workshops. So each video has a turnkey workshop. It's about 30 to 45 minutes long. We've used them before with parent coordinators, actually. And we're just hoping that they're PDF formats, you can find them online. They'll help you to kind of support parents and caregivers. If you're we know a lot of our parent coordinators do monthly workshops with their parents, sometimes weekly workshops. And we know that you're looking for content and topics, and we have those here for you. And I should say, they all kind of incorporate a Parenting Minutes videos into them, but we developed them in a way that they're not dependent on the video, just in case you don't have access to technology if you're in a classroom with parents doing a workshop and you don't maybe have the internet or something like that. So some of the topics for the workshops that we developed include strategies for reading, building parent-teacher relationships, healthy eating, and many, many more. I think Janice was just showing, if you click in to a video on our site, you can see under additional resources, you can pull up the workshop that goes with each of the videos. We also have tips and facts around each video, and we have articles written by real parents. You can find those on our website. You can also find those articles on PBS Kids for Parents. So we really hope that you will find these resources useful in your work with parents and caregivers. I want to pass it over to Janice now because we have some new topics coming out around Parenting Minutes that she can speak to and hopefully get you all really excited about. So over to you, Janice.
Yeah. So one thing before I go to that, I was just curious, and in the chat, if you guys can share, how many of you have used our Parenting Minutes videos with parents? And if you could just put that in the chat and let us know which ones you've used. And I just wanted to let you know that in terms of when we were coming up with ideas for creating the parenting minutes and coming up with topics, we had done some focus groups with parent coordinators. And we said, if there's one topic that you could focus on that would be really important for us to share with parents, what would it be? And one of the parent coordinators said, it's really important to focus on routines. That's a really essential issue. And once that parent coordinator said that, all the other parent coordinators in the room said, routines, that's really important. And so it was because of that focus group that we created our video on routines. And so I still to this day thank the parent coordinators for coming up with that idea. And then in the New York City section, where we have the NYC school resources, there's a whole section about parent coordinators and the role of parent coordinators. So I just wanted to shout that out. So yes, as Ellie said, we're always focusing on more videos. And recently we've had a strong focus on autism. And right now we have 3 different videos focusing on autism. And we also are hoping to do more workshops and discussions about that. So if anyone has suggestions on who we could, like I know we did a session last year with the mom featured in this video and who's the founder of an organization called Autism in Black. And that was a really great discussion about autism. But we have some new videos coming up. We're working with a mom who has MS and talking about what it's like to have kind of a hidden, non-visible disease and how to navigate parenting and not feeling like you're letting your kid down because you can't do a lot of things with them physically, go out to birthday parties. And we're hoping to focus maybe on the importance of play. And we're always looking for new topics and new families that we can highlight. So if anyone has any thoughts or ideas, please send them our way. And let's see, did we get any responses in the chat about parenting minutes?
We did see that, some parent coordinators have shared with families and they've gotten great feedback. We have someone who shared that they're really looking forward to using it, but no other feedback yet. So keep chiming in if you've used parenting minutes so we could see what's being used and what you're looking for.
Oh, I see. Andrea Kelly said she's used readiness check and reading. Okay, great. We love to hear that feedback. Okay, so now I am going to pass the mic over to Michelle Chen, and she's going to talk a little bit about our show, Cyber Chase.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So nice to see all of you. Cyber Chase. Cyber Chase is one of our longest running projects. It's an animated series on PBS Kids for kids ages 6 to 8, and it follows the adventures of 3 kids who use brain power and specifically math and problem solving skills to keep cyberspace safe. And Cyber Chase celebrated 20 years on PBS Kids last year. So we're in our 21st year. And in more recent years, it's also featured an added focus on the environment. We can go to the next slide. And from the beginning, Cyber Chase has included not just the TV series, but also a robust digital presence. It includes a variety of learning games, digital video, as well as hands-on activities and other resources for parents and educators. And we're continuing to create content for kids and families on all of the platforms that they're using: broadcast, OTT, web, mobile, texting, and more. So I'll hand it back to you, Janice, to talk about mobile adventures.
Great. The chat's like blowing up here. David said, my kids used to watch Cyber Chase, great show. Ashley said, grew up watching Cyber Chase, awesome show that taught me so much. It's great to hear that some of you have a lot of experience with Cyber Chase. And like Michelle said, we really try to think of creative ways to reach people where they are and to provide them with content in a way that makes sense, like through games, through TV, and each of the platforms we reinforce the same concepts that are presented in the show. And I wanted to share this new initiative that we were hoping you could help us promote. It's called Cyber Chase Mobile Adventures in STEM, and it's a free program where we send a link to videos and activities. Each week is a different theme, like habitats or recycling. They focus on the environment, and families get to choose one or 2 activities to complete, like make recycled hats or make a bird feeder or go on a nature walk. And then when you've completed the activity, you share a picture with us via the texting platform or a closed Facebook group, and then we send you a digital badge. And it's free and it's designed for families with kids ages 5 to 8, but it can really be done with kids a little younger, a little older as well. And And like I said, each week there's a video that we link to, as well as a choice of 2 activities. And it's really designed to have families explore math, science, and the environment together. And one of the goals too is to help parents feel more confident in doing STEM activities with their kids, and helping to empower them to realize that, science, math is everywhere, and it's really not this some scary thing, but it's something we can all do together in a fun and engaging way. And we just are launching the program now, and so if you text digit to 30644, you'll start getting a welcome message, and you can make your own little journal, and you can do things in English or Spanish. And you can sign up for either English or Spanish once you text this word. So we're hoping, I'm going to give you guys a challenge. If each of you could share this with 10 families, we would be like over the moon. And we have a whole folder that we've created for you, a Google folder. And in that folder, we have these postcards and social media assets that you can share with families. And if anyone has any more questions about it, I'm happy to talk to you offline. You're welcome to email me. Oh, and I have a little promo about this that I'm just going to show you now. Here we go.
Sign up for Cyber Chase Mobile Adventures in STEM.
We can hear, but we can't see.
Caregivers and kids ages.
That's just keeping you on your toes here. Here we go. Let me just share it again. Here we go. Okay.
5 to 8 to explore. Sign up for Cyber Chase Mobile Adventures.
Oops.
Adventures in STEM, a free program for parents, caregivers, and kids ages 5 to 8 to explore math, science, and the environment together. Here's how it works. Just text this word to 30644 to sign up. Each week, you'll receive a video on your phone from the PBS Kids series, Cyber Chase, and fun hands-on activities. Use teamwork to complete an activity. Share what you did and earn new badges. It's fun. It's free. Sign up today o inscríbete en español.
One thing I forgot to mention is that we're actually launching this program nationwide. And whoops, we're launching this program nationwide, and we're working with 15 different PBS stations around the country. So this is being launched in Texas, in California, in Florida, and Michigan, and all around the country. So, but we're hoping we get a good sign up from the New York area as well. So I'm gonna share my screen again, and then I'm going to pass the mic back over to Michelle. Here we go. Whoops. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Can you see the game slide?
I'm not seeing the game slide, Janice. I don't know whether it's far. I'm seeing. Okay.
Let me share it again. Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Here we go. All right. Seeing it now?
Yes, I'm seeing it now. Thank you, Janice. Another aspect of Cyber Chase we just wanted to spotlight briefly is, as I mentioned, digital games are a big part of Cyber Chase. They've always been a big part of the project. And in recent years, we've actually developed a collection of what we call born accessible games. These are games that we've developed from the very beginning with accessibility as a key goal. So each game includes a range of customizable features that allow players with different physical and cognitive impairments to play. So this would include blind and visually impaired players, deaf and hearing impaired players, players with intellectual challenges, and even players who use switches and head and eye tracking devices for various reasons. And of course, the games are also great for all learners. So they're meant to be kind of universally accessible. And so here on the screen, you'll see some examples of some of the features that we've included, that many different things that players can customize to make the experience better for them and make it possible for them to play a game they might not have been able to play otherwise. And we can go to the next slide. So here are the 4 games that we've done to date that are all accessible. Each covers a different math and environmental science concept. So we have Railway Hero. In that game, kids practice simple addition skills as they help to repair a cyberspace railway. And Echo Explorers, kids use echolocation and coordinate graphing skills to help rescue bats who are trapped in caves, and they need to rescue them so that they can pollinate the flowers for the spring. In Duck Dash, players join ducks who are migrating to their winter home, and they have to use data analysis skills to help the ducks get there safely. And finally, in Cyber Fashion Challenge, players use geometry skills and they can create fun upcycled fashion designs. All of the games are available free on the PBS Kids website, as well as the PBS Kids Games app. We also have a setup guide. It's available on PBS Learning Media, which I believe Jen is going to talk about a little bit later. But we have provided a guide that provides more specific guidance on using the accessibility features that's designed for parents and teachers who want to support their kids in using the games. And the games have been really successful. They've gotten awards, many kids have played them. But what's most important to us is that when we've tested the games with kids who have different disabilities, they really talk about how much they really appreciate the ability to customize the games so that they can play them, enjoy them. So I think we're going to move on to Get the Math. So we also wanted to share another project that focuses on math, but for older students. So Get the Math combines video and interactives to help middle and high school students develop algebraic thinking skills for solving real world problems. And it was really, the conceit behind Get the Math was kind of inspired by reality TV, and also combined with our kind of mission to really focus on Algebra 1, which is such a foundational part of the math curriculum for middle and high school. So in each of the modules that are available, you start with a video segment that provides a profile of a young professional in a different career. And that professional then poses an algebra challenge that's connected to their career to two teams of teens that you see in the video. And so as you see the teens trying to solve the challenge, but the viewers at home are also encouraged to try the challenges themselves. And there are interactive tools provided on the site that allow you to try the challenge before you then can see a video of how those teams solve the challenge. And then students can further explore the same concepts through additional interactives that are on the website. And there are 6 modules. They cover topics that range from music production to fashion, video games, restaurants, basketball, and special effects. And again, it's all available for free. It's at getthemath.org. There's also some classroom support materials that are available on the website.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. If you click on the teacher tab on the Get the Math website, you'll see it. And I just want to say, Michelle and I both worked on this program, and it's like, it has a special place in my heart, and it's really fun. And I encourage, especially those of you who love math, or even not, just try it out. Like with the fashion design one, you can actually, like, you can, like, your challenge to try to reduce the cost of the shirt. And as you make changes to the shirt, like remove the sleeves, you see the sleeves that like remove, and like you take the beads off, you put the beads on, and it reacts. And like the music production one, you actually like can calculate beats per minute, and you help them like resolve a problem they're having with their music track. And the video games, you like try to avoid an asteroid. It's an asteroid, right, Michelle? Yeah. But when I've done it with kids, they actually try to program it so it crashes with the asteroid, which is, a fun challenge as well. But it's I don't know. It's a really nice way to show that math is fun and can be used in the real world. So anyway, now does anyone have any questions at this point? I know we've been doing a lot of talking, and I just want to make sure that we're not, if anyone has a burning question, I want to make sure we're addressing that. Anyone? You can unmic or put in the chat.
Janice, I think this is going great.
Thanks, Derry.
We're loving it. Keep them coming.
Awesome. Well, now, actually, I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to pass it over to Jen, who's going to share her screen and talk to you a little more about some resources we have for middle and high school students.
Before you pass it over to Jen, I do see a question in the chat. Janice, for you, where can I find the video you showed to promote the program?
Oh, okay. That's, we have a document that we're putting links in, that's in our Google folder, that will share that document. I will put that link in that document. And actually, I can put it in the chat as well.
Okay, can everyone hear and see my screen? Okay. All right. So, hi, everyone. I just want to reintroduce myself. My name is Jen Abramowski, and I'm really excited to bring some more engaging resources here for your families and your educator network. A little bit of background, I taught in New York City actually for 5 years in District 29 in Queens Village. So, hi, everybody from Queens, and I'm really excited to be back here with New York City educators and families. So, taking a look at the slide we have here, maybe this brings up some fond memories for you or not so fond memories for you. So if you've played a historical game before, or if you've played the Oregon Trail, can you just drop in the chat what kind of game you've played? A history game, an online game, anyone, or even if you played the Oregon Trail or know somebody who played it, give us a thumbs up.
Jen, you've got a Queens District 29 in the house from Cheryl.
Awesome. Hi, Cheryl.
Laura played it.
Okay.
Riza played it. We got a few thumbs up here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I think most of us are familiar with the concept, right? You took your family on the wagon train all the way trying to get across to Oregon. But what I remember most about mine is my family's demise, but it was very memorable. So jumping to 2023, what kind of historical games and children, what kind of historical games can children and students play that still create these fond memories, but help them learn historical thinking skills and standards aligned content at the same time? Enter Mission US. And as an educator, I actually used Mission US in my classroom long before I even knew what the WNET group was all about. So I'm really excited to share these resources with you today. So Mission US takes that choose your own adventure concept of the Oregon Trail, but it goes further. It makes it a more interactive, immersive learning experience that's aligned to the social studies curriculum. Now, these games are perfect for middle school and above, but also students as young as 4th grade can play some of these Mission US games. Particularly City of Immigrants lines up with some of the content in the New York State curriculum there for them. So what about Mission US is so great? It's a character-driven approach to learning history. It builds historical empathy, and students get a better understanding of the forces that built this nation in an engaging and personal way. So Mission US was specifically developed to help young people understand how ordinary Americans struggle to realize ideals of freedom, democracy, and equality, and for it to be engaging. So before I jump into what or who each of these characters are, I have a little promotional video that is gonna kind of give you the background of Mission US and what it's all about. So I'll mute myself here. Let me know if you
Ready to play Mission US? Here are 5 things to know before you start. Number 1, Mission US is a role-playing game. In each mission, you'll step into the shoes of a fictional young person during an important time in US history.
My full name is Nathaniel John Wheeler.
My name is Little Fox. I have 12 years.
My name is Lena Brodsky.
My name is Virginia Liu, but most people call me Jenny.
The V is for Varna, in case you were wondering.
My name is Henry Tanaka. I have a dog named Clark and a younger sister, Lily.
While many of the game's characters are fictional, they are based on the experiences of real people.
We need young people like you to bring your light to our movement.
You'll also meet some historical figures and witness historical events.
Do you support the views of the Patriots, or are you loyal to the Crown?
The goal of Mission US is to understand history, not to win. You'll meet people with different viewpoints, explore historical settings, and witness key past events. You'll also make tough decisions in response to challenges real people might have faced.
If we answer the way they want, the government will try to get us to join the military.
Number 3, your choices impact your character's fate. Some of the decisions you make will unlock badges, which may impact the outcome of your character's journey.
I knew that my future laid down one of 2 paths.
You can replay the game and make different choices to see how your story might change. Number 4, you will encounter difficult aspects of US history. Mission US covers some troubling topics, including racism, injustice, and war, many of which remain relevant today.
we lost too much and too many.
We think learning about this history helps us better understand issues that affect us all. We encourage you to reach out to a parent, teacher, or another trusted adult if you have questions about content in the missions. Number 5, there is never just one story. Like any work of history, these missions are interpretations of what happened in the past, based on careful research. Since they can't capture the whole story, we encourage you to learn more by checking out the additional resources for each mission. Find out more at missionus.org.
All right, so that's a great overview video, and that video is available on our Mission US website as well. And I just want to give a quick anecdote here about my experience using Mission US in the classroom before I tell you a little bit about each of these missions that the students can use in their learning. I taught immigration. I taught an entire unit on immigration. We looked at primary source documents. We looked at individual stories. We looked at photographs. We looked at so many different examples. We took an assessment. My students did well. They passed. And then we played City of Immigrants. And I had students coming up to me and saying, I had no idea it was this hard to be an immigrant in New York City at this time. But all of the data and formal assessments that I did showed me that they knew and understood the topic. But then they played this game and got a deeper understanding of what it meant, right? That historical empathy and real connection to the content. And I even had an 11th grader say, hey, I remember playing Cheyenne Odyssey in 8th grade, and now we're playing it again, but my experience is totally different. Not only did the student remember playing at 8th grade, they remembered what their experience was like. They were able to recall that. And so, you know, they're developing these connections with these characters and with this experience and learning. So for a teacher, there's nothing more that I could want to see. So let me dive in, and hopefully some of these, historical games can connect to some of the educators you know. So for Crown or for Colony, you step into the shoes of Nat Wheeler, a printer's apprentice who arrives in Boston just a few weeks before the Boston Massacre. So students get to decide if they're going to be a patriot or loyalist, but as they said in the video, they can't change history. The Boston Massacre is going to happen either way. Then we have Cheyenne Odyssey. So this mission takes place just after the Civil War. And it addresses Western expansion from a very different perspective, right? The main character, Little Fox, is based on a real Cheyenne warrior, Wooden Leg, who left behind this incredible autobiography about changing life on the plains. And then we have City of Immigrants that I mentioned. Students take on the role of Lena, who moves to the city's Lower East Side in the 1900s. And a lot of the information from the game draws on a wealth of archival material and collaboration with the Tenement Museum, which many of us are familiar with. Students will also see Ellis Island, the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory, and you see how strict, and difficult it is to work there. And then we have Up from the Dust, where students take turns playing twins Frank and Ginny. And most of the story takes place in the Texas Panhandle, which was hit with the double disaster of the Depression and the Dust Bowl in the 30s. We have Prisoner in My Homeland, which is set only a few years later, but tells a very different story. Players step into the shoes of Japanese-American teenager Henry Tanaka, whose family are also farmers, but living on Bainbridge Island outside of Seattle, Washington. And after the bombing of Pearl Harbor during World War II, their world is turned upside down with the forced evacuation of all Japanese Americans from the West Coast. And then in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you see our most recent mission, No Turning Back, which was launched just a few months ago. And in this mission, players step into the role of Verna Baker, a fictional African-American teen from the Mississippi Delta. So the game begins in 1960 when Verna moves to the city of Greenwood to attend high school. And it focuses on the beginnings of the civil rights movement and the important role that youth played in bringing about change. Now, I'm really excited to share Mission US because I have used it in my classroom consistently across the 10 years I have been an educator. And so please do check out that link in the document. And if you have any questions about Mission US before I move on, go ahead and drop them in the chat or raise your hand. And Janice, let me know when you think we're okay to move on. I don't want to go too fast.
Can I say something instead of raising my hand?
Sure, go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
The gentleman who you said is from Hiroshima, I think something like that you said?
From Prisoner in My Homeland, Henry Tanaka.
Yeah, Henry Tanaka. I met him years ago. Great guy.
Wow.
He came to a school I was at years ago and
That's
talked about his
incredible.
story. Yes. Very, very strong man, I would say. Very strong.
And are you able to draw on that experience in meeting him when you when you talk to educators about the time period?
I mean, as far as like when he came to our school to talk about, because it was a huge history project, and one of my students, James McLean, God rest his soul, he that kid passed away, but he asked a question that was really prolific to Mr. Tanaka about how did he feel about, after all these years being in America, and how did it make him feel emotionally after that stuff that happened, because Mr. Tanaka explained that after that bombing or whatever, like where he lived was unlivable, so the experience was just like, it takes a strong person to just come and be around a place where, unfortunately, in war and stuff like that, these things change his outlook on certain things. But he said he forgave the people, whatever, but he was so inspirational to all my kids, and there was a lot of adversity that he overcame, so like he was just dope within himself. So that's all I had to say, because I
Yeah.
remember the name.
It must be someone extreme, maybe same name or somebody familiar, because our main characters are based off of historical fiction, or based off of real people, but fictional characters. But that is an excellent experience to bring into the classroom and to discuss. And I'm so glad that they got to visit your school. That's amazing. And I hope you can use Prisoner in My Homeland, or at least share that in conjunction with that experience.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm gonna send the picture I have with him. Well, I know it's a fictional character, but that person, like, I remember when he came to our transfer school, he just spoke about just being so strong, so in overcoming the powers of adversity. So I'm gonna share that picture with Janelle and Mr. AB later on this week. I'm gonna go on my other phone and just show it. But I have everything with that gentleman. It was just amazing. So it's a real good experience.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
That's great. And we have a few questions. Cheryl had a question. She wants to know, will this program evolve or expand to include the additional information provided in the new Asian American and Black Studies curriculum?
That's a fantastic question. I'm wondering if Michelle might be better able to answer that. We're continually working on new missions, but the development of those missions does take quite some time. In talking of years of development. So we are working on new missions or a new mission.
You want to jump in, Michelle? Do you have any?
Sure. I think the question is whether we're going to be including some of the resources from the new curriculums. And I think you may have mentioned this, Jen, that each mission is accompanied by an educator's guide that has a wealth of resources to help support use of the missions in the classrooms. And we do provide links to other related resources. So, and as we update and, keep those educator guides, continue to evolve them to make them relevant, I think that we'll certainly try to include some of those resources, because I think it's great that those curriculums are being developed and made available. So I think it's definitely there's a connection. So yeah, I think that, hopefully we'll be able to include some of those resources in our educator guides for the missions.
Thanks, Michelle. And I see that Diana says that she voiced some of the characters in City of Immigrants. So it looks like Diana has used City of Immigrants. It's great. And Derry, I noticed you had raised your hand. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I actually wanted to also share that this is such a great opportunity to bring experiencing history through peers, maybe having a family engagement night where you have a conversation and show the videos with parents. And then, because sometimes when those hidden voices and then the voices from the past, when you hear, I know there's a lot of conversations on race, diversity, and even those great heroes that we're hearing and we're learning about. Like, how do you have these conversations? I think this would be a great sort of workshop where you play the video and then have a discussion. We'd love to hear what you guys think in the chat.
Yeah, and I was just going to say the nice thing with Mission US is it's something that can be done by people individually, but also can be done as a group, because there are all these points where you have to make decisions. And so as a group, you can kind of decide, well, what are we going to do next? And I think it would be great to do at a family workshop. Back to you, Jen.
All right. So I definitely think that sounds like a great idea to share this out. But we're going to jump forward to Youth Collective. So we left off with Verna Baker. She's getting involved as a student. And so we have our Youth Collective, which is WNET's Media and Engagement Initiative that aims to amplify youth voice and provide a platform for young people to engage in the important work of building a more ethical world. So for the past 4 years, actually, our work has centered around an annual summit that's been held in person for the first 2 years and virtually for the last 2 years. And I actually did have students who attended that summit and presented at that summit. So it was wonderful to see their voice and their action being brought to light. And after these 4 years of hosting summits that followed a conference model, we're actually shifting focus to a more youth-produced media. We're holding our first film festival. So for the overview, this is going to be an in-person event. Our theme is on democracy, which is aligned with our work with preserving democracy. And it's going to take place at Lincoln Center on June 7th this year. And we have put out a call for young people to make films ages 13 to 25 that connect to our theme of democracy and to submit them on Film Fri-yay, which is linked in that document. And, we're looking for an interpretation of democracy in many ways. Drama, comedy, satire, interpretations, short films, longer films, all the rules and regulations are on Film Fri-yay. And now, unfortunately, our due date for submissions for the in-person fest has passed. However, we're still taking submissions for our digital broadcast fest, which is going to take place in the fall and potentially be ongoing. But those submissions do need to be handed in by May 15th. And then we have our June 7th Film Festival at Lincoln Center. And if you know a class or a group that is excited by the prospect of going to a film festival centered around democracy, where we'll be having guest speakers, we'll be having our award ceremony, please do send us an email with your info, and we'll reach back out to you about potentially attending the film festival. So our film festival information is all in that document there. And I know I've linked it a couple times, so please feel free to visit that site and share out with young filmmakers in your network. And I think I kind of chatted about this already a little bit. All right, and I know I'm running very short on time, so I'm going to go a little bit quickly here to talk about PBS Learning Media. Are we familiar with PBS Learning Media? Let me know if you've used PBS Learning Media in the chat. Okay, I see a couple no's, not yet.
Okay.
Laura used it. Laura's used it. Okay,
maybe no. So I think it's good doing a little overview. Yeah.
I'm so excited to share PBS Learning Media with you. So pbslearningmedia.org is a free site that provides resources of all subjects and all types. And the first page you're going to see is the landing page here. And we have our highlight bar of information and resources that are new and pertinent for the day. And so you can come here always to check out new material. But if you're not familiar with PBS Learning Media, I highly suggest going to the subjects tab up here at the top, right? And I was a social studies teacher, so I'm particularly interested in the social studies region here, but we have science, math, English language arts, engineering and tech, health and physical education, preschool, PD, the arts, world languages. There is a plethora of information on PBS Learning Media, and it is all free and ready-made for the classroom. So for instance, if we were going to look at the world history resources, it's going to take you to world history, give you an overview, and then on here we have the subtopics. You can see that there's over 1,000 videos pertaining to world history. And for teachers or for educators or for families who are looking for more information, it's easily broken down into subtopic. You have the videos here, the grades, range, and the resource type, right? Depending on what you're looking for. Another big subject that I know I always needed to help my students with was math here. We have K through 8, and then we have more subjects. One particular collection that I'd like to highlight on PBS Learning Media is our understanding LGBTQ plus toolkit. So not only can you look by subjects, by grades on PBS Learning Media, you can also search in particular for anything or any topic that you're wanting to share with your child or with your students. And so when I enter the collection here, again, on the side, you have the subtopic bar where you can expand those resources. You have a description. So we have our professional development resources, we have our classroom resources, and I'm going to go into one of the resources that I've used myself, and that's going to be this video down here, which is about a young person who's transitioning and how their parent supports them. So with each video, they're made for the classroom. They're made to be between 3 and 6 minutes long. So it's that perfect clip or for your family, right, to show that it's not too long. Students won't lose their attention to it. We have a description. And then on the side of all of our PBS Learning Media resources, we have support materials. Now it does say for teachers, but these can also be used at home as well, right? Something like teaching tips. How are you going to use or discuss this video? Questions, right? This one has a handout. I can't get rid of this bar. Oops, sorry. So this one has a handout. And it also has vocabulary. So this is a great resource. You can go jump right back to the collection here and see some of our other toolkits that we have that go along with it. Our print resources, right? Things like our identity, our teacher's guide, our early grade support guide, as well as if your school is interested in creating a GSA club, we have resources for that as well. So PBS Learning Media is a lot to explore. There is so much information on here, but I myself or anyone on my team would be happy to point you in the direction of some of the more new and exciting things we have to offer.
Jen, Natisha said the lessons on social and emotional development are great. And then Laura mentioned that she found the lessons really helpful and they had great multimedia attached.
Yes, I love the preschool resources that we have there. And I did pull up one more resource that I want to highlight, which is Films by Kids. And if you haven't checked these out, please check out the link. Films by Kids are videos that are filmed by kids with the help of, a professional media team, and they focus on the stories of young people about global issues. So it's not just students in the United States, it's students from around the world. And you could check them out here. And we also have them clipped on PBS Learning Media as well. So I know I've done a bit of a speed run of PBS Learning Media, and I do apologize for that. I want to respect everyone's time, but I want to share these other resources we also have, right? American Masters, we have Nature, which focuses on biology and science content, earth science. We have Shakespeare Uncovered, Romeo and Juliet, which is great for ELA, high school ELA. And then we also have Unladylike 2020, which features 26 little known heroines from the progressive era, which are perfect resources for Women's History Month. So the main message with PBS Learning Media is it's free. There are fantastic resources for teachers, parents, families, students, and to definitely check it out and explore what interests you. So thank you for your time. And I do apologize that I went so fast.
We just got a question. Do we have the After School Superstars info in Spanish? I don't know the answer to that. I'll have to check. Jen or Michelle, I don't know if you have the answer to that, but we can get back to Laura and Jerry with that information. I think, does anyone have any questions? I know we have a few more minutes. Does anyone have any questions for us, comments, thoughts? I'm saying this is awesome, great links.
I actually don't have a question, but one of the things that we do when we bring partners is that we love to hear from our participants and like, what is one thing that you're gonna walk away with? Or I see that we have a lot of stuff to walk away with. So in the chat, or if a parent coordinator or any participant would like to unmute and just share your reaction for today's presentation. We would love to hear how you are going to take it back, or what are your thoughts, or what are you feeling right now. So, do we have any participants who would like to unmute and just share your feedback? I know this is not a shy group.
Go
There
ahead,
we
Cheryl.
go.
Hi.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hi, how are you? I wanted to say, while this was going on, I was so busy copying links that I thought were especially relevant for our middle school here and sending them to our administrators like, this is what you need to send out. Send this out to our teachers to share this. So yeah, it's very, very exciting. Very good information. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. What grades do you work with, Cheryl?
6 through 8.
Excellent. Okay, so we've got a lot of good 6 to 8
Yeah,
resources that
a lot
we've
of good stuff today.
So
Thanks.
Cheryl, I dropped the link in the chat with some of the links to the things we mentioned, all in one place for you. So I hope that helps.
Great, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Ooh, Miss
Hi, this
Jimenez.
is Karen from Maxwell High School. Sorry I came in late because I was attending to my surveys. And but what I have seen so far is really, really interesting. And I'm going to give it to our one of our teachers who do the framework with the students. This is really, really, I'm going to send it to my principal also to see if he can do something about all these different great stuff that they have for our students. Sorry I had to come in so late.
No problem. And, you know, we really wanted to share the variety of resources we have because we wanted to show that we have a lot of videos and we also have a lot of games, and we find that all of them are really helpful to help kids learn. And, you know, we have things for families as well. So we wanted to make sure that you knew kind of what's available. And we've created a whole Google folder for you, which we have the link in here for the Google folder. Maybe we could put the Google folder link in the chat as well. And we've also created a document that Jen shared where we have all the links that we've shared today. So
what I did, I take snapshots of everything you put up. I took snapshots of it. So, you know, and I was trying to write also, but
that's great. And the Google folder is actually something we created for parent coordinators years ago. And just every time we do a presentation, we just add more links to it. So it really has a variety of resources for all of you to use.
And Janice, just want to add to that. If you're receiving the FACE newsletter, there's a section in the newsletter that mentions WNET, and that's the Google folder. That has all the information that was shared as well today and in the past. There is a comment in the chat. Let's see. I can't unmute, but I will be distributing to our teachers and to our parents, and will host open office hours to assist with navigating. I am moving into the school counseling role. Congratulations. And we'll also be using SEL resources for pushed in lessons. Great presentation. Thank you so much. So these are great comments. Thank you so much, everyone. I think we're out of time. I see Laura shaking her head. Yes, we are out of time.
Wow.
We can continue this conversation.
Jerry, can I just say one thing?
Oh, sure.
I think my colleagues and I just really enjoyed all the energy in the room and all the questions and comments. So it's been really great. And we just really appreciate you inviting us to come here today. And feel free to reach out to any of us. Our emails are on the screen and we'd be happy to answer. Because if you're like me, sometimes I think of a brilliant comment like an hour after I've been to a session. So if you think of something, feel free to reach out to us. We're here.
Thank you so much, Janice, and thank you everyone that presented from our WNET team. Janice, Jennifer, Ellie, all of you all. If I miss someone, and
Was there a
Michelle.
sign-in sheet?
There is a signing sheet. Laura is going to go over our signing sheet protocols, but she's dropping it in the chat. Before I leave, if I also wanted to wish everyone a happy Women's History Month. Oh my gosh. And we just heard so many, we heard so many presentations for our wonderful partners who are all women, and just wanted to just shout us like this is Women Month. And with that, I kind of have a little music right here just to just it's a celebration today. Hey,
Did anybody want to say happy St. Patrick's Day today yet? Or I came in a little late?
yes, we did.
We
Oh,
did, but we
wow.
can say it again. It's
We
okay.
can say it again.
Yes, we are all wearing green here, my
Yes,
school.
yes. So what we're gonna do, while we're listening to some music and some updates, Laura's gonna put the attendance link in the
But the
chat.
attendance link, you can't sign it. When you click on it, it's not popping up.
Okay. Let's see.
So it might just be if you're having
Oh,
trouble with the
mine popped
attendance.
up.
If you're having trouble, it might just be that you're not logged in properly. So maybe log out, not of the Zoom, but like in your Google profile. But we are dropping the link in. I also just want to plug one more opportunity, because today's just a lucky day. We're just throwing all sorts of goodies and resources your way. So coming to you from our LMS team, this is an opportunity. If you need support with, if you haven't migrated, and migrating is all about kind of, I'm going to ask some folks to mute. I'm so sorry. It's just a little chatty at the school level. But basically, this link that I just dropped, the diit.nyc/one account for all bookings, that's a link that you can use if you want to speak to one of our migration specialists. Again, migrating is all about kind of, if you're on a local Google domain, it's about coming over to the DOE one. We've reached a lot of schools and the team is really fabulous. But in addition to all of that support, they also offer support for our enterprise schools. And I know some folks have had some trouble with maybe logging into Adobe or using some of those applications. So if you need that type of support, guess what? You can utilize this bookings with our LMS team. Like I said, they're fabulous. These are actually folks that are based in the school. So they're using it with their students. So they can definitely point out if there's something in particular that you need, they can point that out. So with that, again, one more time, folks, we'll drop the link to our attendance. Today's session was WNET Resources for PCs. And honestly, on the attendance form, let me go share my screen. I'm doing this here just by talking about it. But for my visual learners, when you get to the attendance, you'll fill out all this pertinent information about yourself. And then honestly, where it says sessions, just go all the way down, because it's the last one. All right. So that should make it easy to find. Everything is alphabetized, but because it starts with WNET, it's the last session. Pick that one. We are here for 75 minutes of PD, so you can go ahead and check that off. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Laura. And we have 5 more minutes, so please take this time to sign in. And also, I would like to share my screen, because a lot of times I get emails like, Terry, where is the recording once again? So I just want to show you really quickly, because the Parent Coordinators Team channel is also a great space. We also drop sometimes events that we get, but I want to share my screen so I can show you once again, while you guys are signing in, where to go to gather the recordings for this meeting. Every resource that you've seen today with links and the video will be posted. So let me share my screen really quickly. And some of you guys asked about the FACE newsletter. It looks like this. You will receive it. You have to use your nyc.gov email to receive it. I don't know if you guys can see my screen, and I do apologize for it.
We see it.
You see it? Okay, great. And then I'm just gonna move this over. And this is the PC Teams channel. Can you guys see it?
No, we're still seeing the newsletter.
Oh, okay. Let's try this again. I'm gonna reshare my screen. Okay, can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, so after this, if you had questions or you want to just give shout outs or you just want to say, hey, I was able to text my families or just give your best strategies on how to share, Laura later today will post the recording and you can add your comments. You can give us a shout out. Hey, if you want to say that we're the best colleagues at the DOE, go right ahead and say it. Or if you just want to share again your best strategy, how you are connecting families to these wonderful community partners and these resources, that's where you put your comments once we post. I also want to share with you guys, because it is Women History Month, there is a fun. This is after work. This is not DOE. This is not, you're not going to get credit. This is on your own time. There's a Women History Month celebration. I love it. It's fun. There's a DJ. We're dancing. Again, this is after work, so you bring your favorite beverages. After work beverages. Hint, hint. To this party, we're going to be celebrating women. There's a DJ. It's fun. It's at 7 p.m. It's on March 22nd. I'll be on jamming. Again, this is not a DOE event and you would not get credit, but this is a way we can celebrate together to celebrate Women History Month. All right, guys, just that's it for me. I'm going to turn it back over to Laura. Again, check out the PC website, invite folks to join. It's all inclusive, your VIP services, and congratulations to everyone today that received those private screen tickets to see that wonderful show that we're going to see, and see you in person. Take care, guys.
Thank you so much, Derry. And thank you again to the folks from WNET and PBS. Such fabulous resources. I hope you're super excited to dig into them and also to share them with everyone at your school community. Just want to remind folks one more time, I know we shared it at the top of the meeting, but remember, we are not, I know it's sad, it's heartbreaking. We are not meeting in April. There's just too many days off, I know. But I hope everyone has a fabulous spring break. Enjoy all the days off that we are getting in April. There's a ton of cultural holidays. So please enjoy. We will be back on May 12th, and we will always put a reminder in our PC team, but we will be back May 12th, sharing some really great resources from library services. Again, just like with all the resources you saw today, they're free, which I always feel like is it's the magic word when you work with anyone in education. It's like, if I don't have to pay for it or ask for a purchase order or any of that, like it's the best resource, right? So more free resources coming your way. That will be on May 12th. All right. So again, folks, thank you so much for making time to show up today to learn and to share this really great, valuable information with your school community. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy St. Patty's Day and all things green.
Likewise.
Enjoy the weekend, and we will see you in a little over a month.
Thanks very much. Have a blessed weekend. Stay fun.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Oh, there we go.
Got a little outro music.
Where's the attendance?
We can post it one more time in the chat for you.
I was like, what happened to my face?
There we go. I got it. Sorry.
Don't forget to come to the virtual party. We're going to be jamming just like this with a DJ.
When?
March 22nd.
What time is it?
It's at 7 p.m. It's on the PC Teams channel. It's the recording stop, right?
You know what? Let me go ahead and stop it now.
Bye.
Put that on